Welcome back, everybody. So, what did I mean by a little bit in relationship to camber on a smoothing plane blade? So, excuse me, I wasn't really happy with the way my number 4 blade was cutting. So, I took it out and I put a fresh grind, or actually not a grind, but I used the guide to put a coarse bevel so you can see it. And then I took it to, I increased the angle. So that's 25 degrees, the primary. Then I increased the angle by just 1 or 2 degrees, maybe 3. And I took it to the 1000 grit and got that. Can you see that light polished edge across the top? Right across the top. Okay. Until I got a little bit of a burr here. So that is perfectly square across. If I were to put this blade after stropping, being square across like this, into the plane and try to surface anything wider than the plane blade, which is 2 inches, it would leave plane tracks, little lines on each side. So I just made it a little bit wider so that you all can see it. Well, I'm hoping that you can see it. That little glint across the top edge right there. Can you see that? There you go. Now, once again, I go back to the premise that everything we do is in relationship to the task at hand. So, for a smoothing plane, we're looking to take thin shavings, thousandth of an inch, thereabouts, because you want to reduce tear out and you want to polish a smooth finish. You don't want to change the thickness of your material by much because your work is all done. Your joinery is all done. So you've all seen this technique. I know you have, but I'm going to go over it one more time. All you do, and I'll turn the sharpening plate this way so you can see a little bit more. When you're sharpening back and forth, and if you're on a water stone, you're going to be wanting to pull, not push, okay? On the diamond, you can go both ways. You're putting pressure across the whole front evenly, okay, to get that straight line. So now what you want to do is apply more pressure to one side, okay? And both hands are on it, but the pressure is on one side. And you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you relieve the pressure on that side and you put it on this side. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Check your progress. So, you will be amazed to see how quickly you develop a camber. I don't know if you can see it. So what I'm going to do is go a little bit further so that it becomes blatantly obvious. So this one did fairly well on this side. So pressure on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pressure on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 15 total. And if I had testing equipment that would allow me to measure now the camber, you would find out that this side and this side are behind the leading edge by some measurement. Okay? So you can start to see, I'm hoping you can start to see that polished edge is now going over to the sides. And I'm going to go one more time. This side needs a little bit extra, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, for good luck, a couple right down the middle. That's it. I wish I could actually get a good picture of this. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you don't. But the polished edge is feathering down to the corners. So let's strop it. Of course, that blade is done now. Let's deburr it on the back first. And now we're going to strop it and concentrate primarily on the front edge. And I'm not sure if this is the first time that you've seen me wear gloves in the workshop. I'm sure I've done it before. But if it's not too hot, I like to wear gloves because we're dealing with metal, and the metal has different alloys: chromium, vanadium, magnesium, manganese, whatever. And if you deal with anything that's brass, it could be lead contamination. So I began using gloves about a dozen years ago, maybe a little more, just because I got tired of constantly scrubbing my hands. And as winter approaches, that dries out your hands. So now that is fully polished, really shiny now. And you can see a little bit better now how it goes and falls off to each corner. And the back is polished. One more stroke on that. And we're ready to test it. See how I did. But that's what I meant when I said you just want a little bit of camber. And once again, how tight you set your chip breaker to your cutting edge is a function of the task at hand and the thickness of the shaving you want to take. Okay, that's done. These plastic bench stops are kind of interesting. They're probably some sort of a nylon, but I'm telling you, you hit that with a freshly sharpened blade, it's no longer freshly sharpened. Ask me how I know. Okay. Blade set back into plane, nicely centered. Close the hood. A little bit of oil. I forgot to put some oil on the blade. I should have done that. And I'm going to slowly advance and this is where I could take these off. You know, for a while there, years ago, these gloves were cheap. $5 or $6, you got 100 gloves. That was very well worth it. Thanks to you know what, over the last 5 years, the price has skyrocketed. So I don't always wear them. Plus my hands sweat. And these nitrile gloves do not protect you completely from certain solvents. So let's see what we did here. Okay, getting a little bit of cut over on the left. So we'll move the lateral a little bit to the left. Just a little bit more. And there we go. So you get a little bit narrower shaving, but it is feathered left and right. So how thick is this shaving? I hope you're having a good day. It's Thursday. This will be airing on Friday. So we are at a smidge over 1/1000th of an inch. And I'm getting a one and a half inch shaving on a 2-inch blade. So you're losing a little bit left and right, the thinner you go. You go a little heavier, the shaving gets wider. That's performing a lot better. Okay, so now that one looks a little wider. I mean, it's crinkled up. It's closer to 1 3/4, maybe a little bit more. And no plane tracks. So what you lose in width, you gain in the smoothness of your work. See that? That, my friends, is a perfectly planed, smooth surface. I have no problem taking that and putting a seal coat on that and beginning my finishing process. Remember to mark your wood, planing in that direction. So I hope this helped somebody clarify what I meant by a little bit of camber. And the more camber you put on, the narrower the shaving and the deeper the cut you can make. But the less camber, the finer the cut, the narrower the shaving. No camber, you can take a really fine cut, but you're going to get plane tracks. Like, subscribe, and share. Walter out.